Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. It is Monday, January the 22nd, and we've got a lot to talk about this week weather-wise. We've got a tropical cyclone developing in the Coral Sea. It's heading off towards Queensland, likely to make landfall on Thursday somewhere around Townsville. We've got details about that. But in the immediate short term, we've actually got a cold change coming into New Zealand. In fact, I'd describe it as wintry for some parts of the South Island, with snow on the mountains and even sub-zero temperatures above 300 metres overnight, Tuesday night going into Wednesday morning, which means if you're camping in a tent or tramping somewhere around the South Island's interior, you may want to be up to date with what is coming on through. So let's have a look at the map. We've got the wind map showing temperatures. So up here is the new forming cyclone. At the time of recording this, it was not yet named, but it is expected to be named within 24 hours. In the South Island, there is the colder change about to arrive. Now, it's not really there yet. You've got a warm to hot Monday, but as we go through Tuesday, this big southerly flow between Tasmania and Fiordland slides in and across the country and moves up into the North Island Tuesday night and going into Wednesday. Maybe another 24 hours for some of you in the North Island to get that air conditioning. So let's have a look at temperatures. Speaking of the air conditioning, so here we are for today. Maximum departure from normal. So this is the how hot it gets today and how much warmer or cooler that is compared to usual. So temperatures over here. What you're seeing is most of the country warmer than average. Some parts of the lower South Island 4 to 8 degrees above average. A little cooler today in Hawke's Bay. I don't think there'll be many complaints after your hot day yesterday and days before, but just slightly cooler with that easterly flow coming through for you today. But look at tomorrow. The big change here, the departure from normal, Tuesday, 4 to 8 degrees below normal. So the places that are 4 to 8 degrees above normal today, 4 to 8 degrees below normal. And there might even be some single digit daytime highs, 8s and 9s around, mostly inland and slightly higher elevation. And up here in the north, in the eastern side, you warm back up again. It says 27, but I think 30 is well possible, especially inland around Hastings, as that west to northwest wind kicks in and the clouds arrive and the cold front arrives at nighttime. Not as hot in New Zealand as it is over in Australia though. 45 degrees and above in the pink shading here from Kalgoorlie right up to about Roebourne, inland areas obviously, but pretty hot weather, and obviously the 40 to 45 spreads all the way out here to inland parts of Queensland and New South Wales. Just another day in the office. All right, let's have a look at Tuesday's setup. So in comes the cold change for the South Island. So high pressure around Tasmania, that is helping to scoop up this colder airflow and bring it in. So that's why we're seeing snow on the mountains and ranges later into the day and especially overnight. That's when the temperatures drop right down. We're seeing overnight lows of 2, 3, 4 degrees in a number of places. So please do keep up to date with those temperatures. Our new alerting app can also give you warnings if you need to set the criteria to warn about temperatures getting down close to zero. So that is moving in. This is lunchtime Tuesday. In the North Island, different story. While there is a cold front moving through for you on the west coast, that will bring in showers all the way from Wellington up to Auckland and Northland. But the eastern side's got that windy, hot nor'wester, so 28, 29, 30 degrees is still possible. Up here, we've got the tropical cyclone developing out at sea, expected to be named by Tuesday. By Wednesday, that cyclone moving closer towards Townsville. We'll have more info about that in a moment. But down towards the New Zealand area, this big area of high pressure, which sort of zipped into the Tasman, is the reason why that cyclone is not coming down towards us. This time a week ago, computer modelling was very unsure if this high would come in on time. It is. And so New Zealand, for now, and I shouldn't really even say for now, I mean, New Zealand is not in the firing line for this tropical cyclone. I said for now because once it moves inland later this week, at some point the leftovers may come out and head towards us, but that's a long way away. So for Wednesday, still offshore, but the outer bands starting to come in there around Townsville. And in the New Zealand side, cooler sou'westers coming through. So southerlies around Auckland and Waikato, sou'westers in Waikato. You'll be very happy for those who are sick of the temperatures. And, you know, it's been very warm. Overnight lows around 22, 23 degrees. The feels like temperature, the humidex up into the late 20s at the coldest part of the day. So this change coming through on Wednesday will be welcome. Right, let's head over to Queensland now for Thursday, because late morning, your time over here in Queensland, in comes this tropical cyclone. Now, it could still change about where it moves through. That big high in the Tasman is the guiding force for it. So that means it could move it north or south by a couple of 100 kilometres on what you're seeing right now. The good news for those up here around Cairns and Wonga Beach, you're not seeing a tropical cyclone at this stage coming towards you. There is some modelling that shows Cairns right on the outer edges of it, so you still have to keep up to date in case it does move further north. But for now, it looks like it's going to come in around Townsville at some point on Thursday, most likely into the afternoon, but really anywhere from Innisfail down to about Mackay. Keep a very serious, close eye on this storm. We will have more details on Tuesday in our Pacific Islands update, our first one for this year. We're going to really make a lot more info on this. And then our usual Australia update on Thursday, we'll bring that forward to Wednesday this week so that we can cover this cyclone in more detail for you. So Thursday again, this is just showing the bigger picture. So here comes the cyclone towards Townsville. The high pressure zone here blocking it from coming into New Zealand. That was not quite the case last week. They had the same high, just slightly further down. That allowed it to come on in. So for now, high pressure's in charge. That pushes away that humid weather we've been having. That's now out here over the Chatham Islands, in fact, even past the Chathams. So a southeasterly flow comes in. Temperatures are down nationwide as we go through Thursday, especially in the morning when you wake up. Many of you will see it as like a form of air conditioning. So on Friday, the high is still in charge, slightly cooler mornings, still got plenty of heat in the afternoon. And a reminder, just because it might be a bit colder, the UV rays, if the sun is out, still just as strong. You can get sun damage in just 5 to 10 minutes in the middle of the day. Extreme UV rays at the moment around New Zealand. So here on Friday, still settled, still summer-like. The nor'westers and westerlies come back, so that means your temperatures lift back up again in Southland, Otago, and Canterbury as well. By Saturday, the leftovers of the cyclone bringing some heavy rain around places like Charleville to Brisbane, Grafton and Port Macquarie, even down to about Sydney. You might be seeing a few showers there. That's more to do with a cold front, but there is this low pressure zone in that area left over from the cyclone, and the red line measures air thickness, so pulling down that humid tropical airflow for you. But on the New Zealand side, not humid, much drier, but the nor'west flow here, you're going to feel that heat sliding back up the country. And our final map for Sunday does show a cold front stuck here over Cook Strait, over Nelson and Marlborough, and giving you a bit of rain. That's some good news. Further to the south, mostly dry. Southland, another change there, cooler weather for you coming through. Classic El Nino setup. This is classic El Nino, the high parked over here, southwest winds, mostly dry in the North Island and the east, and a cold front trying to move up the country. The leftovers of the cyclone may be hovering there between Brisbane and Rockhampton. So as we go into February, the leftovers could then come out to sea and form into a new system. But that's just taking a bit of a guess at this stage. It's too far out to lock in. That is all from me. So just a reminder, tomorrow, Tuesday, back again. We've got our New Zealand update and our Pacific Islands update, which will cover the tropical cyclone going into Queensland. And then on Wednesday, we'll bring forward our Australia forecast. Normally on Thursdays, we'll do that on Wednesday this week to again cover the tropical cyclone for you. And that's all from me for today. We'll catch you again tomorrow, Tuesday, with our next updates.